welcome to another edition of CBS Free Acquisition Training. My name is Ajala Olaide Fumilola. I'll be taking you on cakes and snacks. Thank you. With me today, I have Aisha. She was a student in the last skill acquisition training. She learned a lot and she even went further to learn about other things so that it will help improve what she had already learned. So you can join me as we go on. This class will be making meat pie, sausage roll, donuts and your vanilla sponge cake. Just a simple recipe that you can quickly understand. So you can join me as I make donuts. I'm starting with donuts first. So I have my flour here and this is sugar, milk. You can use evaporated milk or you can use powdered milk and just add a little water, or if you don't want to use evaporated milk, you can use water. Then I have my butter here. It's melted. I use the microwave to melt it, so you can always put it in the gas. I have yeast. Yeast is to make the dough rise quickly. I have salt. This is salt, and I have my eggs. 2 medium-sized eggs. So we are going to start preparing now. I'm going to start with donuts. So I have here my flour. It's already sieved. Make sure that the flour you're going to be using is sieved and is fresh. So I'm going to add my dry ingredients into the flour now. So I have my sugar, my salt, and the yeast. So I'm going to mix that together. You can decide to use your hand or you can decide to use a spatula if you don't want to get your hands messy. So once that is done, you create a well in the middle of your dry ingredients. That's the flour, the yeast and the sugar. Then you start pouring your wet ingredients in. So I'm going to pour my milk, my butter. Please let me break the eggs. So we are going to break the eggs now, and she's going to whisk it a little. It doesn't have to be too much. So whisk it together. And you can decide to mix all your wet ingredients together before you pour it inside your flour. It depends on how you want to go about it. Either ways, it works. So I'm going to pour it inside. I'm going to mix together. At this point, it gets a lot messy. So if you don't want to use your hand, you can use your spatula. But at the long run, you are still going to use your hand to knead the dough. So I'm mixing it together now. We are going to mix everything together. Make sure it combines together. So I'm going to gradually add some little drops of water into it. Not too much water, just maybe half cup. You just pour it gradually and make sure you mix everything until it stops sticking on your fingers. Don't worry, it's fine. So I finished mixing everything together. Give me a bowl, clean one, another bowl. Then you put. So this my surface is clean. So I'm going to knead it for about 10 minutes on this surface till it becomes stretchy. Don't overwork your dough so that you won't raise the gluten in the flour. So hope you are seeing what I'm doing. I'm just trying to knead it, so you can knead for like 15 to 20 minutes. So I've been kneading for the past 10 minutes. So I'm just going to make it into a ball and put it in my bowl. In my bowl, I've already rubbed it with butter, or you can use it with, rub it with oil, so the dough will not stick to your bowl. So I'm going to cover this up with my cling film. If you don't get cling film, you can use napkin. Just cover it up so as to rise. So now I'm going to keep it somewhere so that it will double in size. I will keep it for like 1 hour. In 1 hour's time, I'll check on it. So this is what we are. For the next snacks we are making meat pie. So before we start with the dough, we are going to start with the meat pie filling. For your meat pie filling, you are going to be needing minced meat, your carrots, potato, onions, corn flour, curry, thyme, Maggi, and salt. So I'm going to start with my vegetable oil. So hand me the vegetable oil. Just a little. Add more. Yes. Then you add in your onions. You stir fry it a little. So now we are going to add our minced meat. Minced meat. We are going to fry this until it is brown. So you keep stirring so that it won't stick to the bottom of the pot. You keep mixing till it's brown, till you stop seeing this reddish meat color. Okay, now the beef is brown, so I'm going to add in my Maggi. The thyme, curry and thyme. You can decide to add garlic powder onion powder, ginger powder. It depends on you. Then you can put a little bit pepper for it if you like pepper. Then salt. So salt to taste. Just a little bit of salt. So at this junction we add our water. So add water. Put more. Because we are still going to put in the potato tomorrow. Pour. So after adding in the water, we pour in our potato. And our carrots. So we'll cook it until it is soft, until the potato is soft. So cover it up now. Thank you. Okay, now our potato is soft and the carrot is soft. So we are going to pour in our corn flour mixture. That's 2 tablespoons of corn flour with water to make the mix to make our filling thicken. Oh yeah. So turn everything together. That's the last part of the filling. After mixing it very well, we are going to leave it to cool down before we pour it into our meat pie dough. If you don't allow it to cool down, your filling might be seeping out of the meat pie, which is not good. So we're going to reduce the heat now and leave it to cool down. It's fine. So we are going to leave it to cool down, and we are going to go and work on our dough now. So right now I want to work on the meat pie dough. For your dough, you need your flour, your butter, your salt, baking powder, and if you like, you can add your Maggi to your dough so as to make it tasty, but it's optional. For now, I'm going to start with my dry ingredient as usual. Please let me measure half teaspoon of salt. For your baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, while we are trying to open the baking powder, let me put my butter. You level your 1 teaspoon. So add it to it and we mix together by rubbing it in. The butter you are using is cold butter. Butter and my flour together, and this is the result, a crumble-like result. I'm going to add water now, 1 cup of water. So you create a lump in the middle and add your water. You add it gradually, a little at a time. You keep mixing till everything mixes together. Okay, you continue mixing. When you finish mixing and it's not sticking to your fingers, you bring it out of the bowl and put it on your working surface. You knead it. You don't knead it too much, like you do not like knead for 20 minutes. This you don't knead too much. Make sure the surface you are using to knead is very clean. I've already cleaned this before I started working, so everywhere has to be clean. I've cleaned it, so I've finished kneading it now. I'll put it in the bowl for like 10 minutes before I come back to roll it out and put our filling inside. Our dough. I'm going to roll it out now. Cut it into two. Please get me flour. I'm going to roll it out with my rolling pin. Flour. Get me flour, please. Not too thick and not too thin, so that your dough. So I'm running out the dough. Not too thick and not too thin, so that your filling will not fall out of it. So I'll take my cutter. It's clean, it's already washed, so I'll cut out. Just need to spread it out a little. Put it in the cutter. And put your filling inside. Not too much, so that it will not seep out. And this is egg. I put it on the edges so that it will seal the edge. It will not open up. And close it. So, shoot, why is this one open? No. Let's drown down. Yes. Put in your filling. You continue like that till you finish your dough. And if you don't have a meat pie cutter, you can always use your fork. You can always use your fork to seal it up if you don't have a meat pie cutter. So spreading it out a little. Putting my filling inside. I'm not using the cutter for this one. So if you don't have a cutter, you can always go freestyle like this. Nice. You cut out the excess and just use your fork to press it down. So I'm putting in my filling, not too much. Put in your egg to seal it. Then use your fork to press it down. And we are good to go. Put it on your tray. It's going to egg wash it. Now we are finished rolling it out. We are going to egg wash it before putting it in the oven. So egg wash is just egg. You mix it together and use your brush to rub it on the meat pie before putting it in the oven to give it a crispy and nice color. Fast. That will leave this space. Yes, and that's all. Now taking it to the oven now. The pie in the oven. My oven is already on at 350 degrees centigrade. It depends on the type of oven you are using. So I'll put it inside. So it's going to bake for at least 20 minutes. So after 20 minutes, we'll check it.
And action.
So guys, now we are going to make cake. Vanilla sponge cake, simple vanilla sponge cake. So I have here my butter and my sugar already mixed so as to make it faster. This butter and sugar, you mix it till it becomes whitish like this and fluffy. So you use your hand mixer to mix. In case you don't have a hand mixer, you can use your turning stick to mix it, but it will take you a lot of time, and mixer is faster for you to use. So gradually you mix it. This has already been mixed and it's fine. So I'm going to add in my eggs now, little by little. I don't have to mix the egg before I add it into it, so the mixer will do all the work. Here, add it now. It's okay. So we are adding in the eggs little by little. A little at a time. You make sure you finish mixing in the egg. Put everything inside. So I will make sure I finish mixing the egg, that I'm not seeing any egg inside again. At this stage, I introduce my flour. So please bring the spatula for the flour. Yeah, add it in a little at a time. You don't pour everything at once. If you pour everything at once, it will get lumpy and your cake will not come out nice. Add. Let's add it. Don't worry, add it. Okay. We are still adding our flour just to get the right consistency. Sorry, my hand is making me. I have to change. Put everything. Oh yeah. Put everything, baking powder. So we have finished adding in the flour now. We are going to add our baking powder to this mixture. One more. Flavor. So we are going to add flavor now. You can add any type of flavor. This stage, I'm adding in my flavor so as to give the cake a nice taste and a nice smell. What I'm adding is butterscotch. It's okay, just a little, because this particular flavor is not that cool, so that's why I poured a little. So you can add as much as you want, but if you want to follow measurements, just add 1 tablespoon to it, and that's that. Then you mix it till all your ingredients incorporate together. Don't overmix. If you overmix your batter, your cake will not rise. So this is fine. I'm going to pour this batter in my cake pan. This is an 8 inches pan. So pouring it inside. I'm going to bake this twice so that it won't get burnt and it would get done on time. If I pour everything inside, it might get burnt and I won't like the after effect. So I'll pour half in it, bake this, then bake the remaining half later. Okay, we are checking our meat pie now to check if it's okay. So bring it out, let's see. Wow, it's looking nice. So check it, maybe it's okay now, maybe it's done. So it's not more sticking to the parchment paper, so our meat pie is ready. Our cake batter is going into the oven. Our oven is already on, is already hot, so We are putting it into the oven. We are going to make our butter icing now. Butter icing is just your butter and your icing sugar. It is used for decoration. If you want to decorate your cake, we have different types of decoration for cake. We have butter icing, we have fondant, we have whipping cream, we have Italian marine. It depends on whichever you want to use, but for this particular one, we are using the butter icing. So to make your butter icing, you measure your butter into a bowl. After measuring it into a bowl, you mix your butter to become soft. You don't have to mix it for so long because it's icing sugar. So you just mix it to soften the butter. Then you add in your icing sugar gradually. So now we are going to mix our butter to soften it. Can mix for 5 minutes before I add my icing sugar. Like I said, if you don't have hand mixer, you can always use your turning stick to do the mixing, but it will take time. So just use your hand mixer to mix everything so as to make it faster. So I'll use my spatula to scrape down the butter by the side of the bowl. You mix it one more time. At this stage, you gradually add in your icing sugar. You add it a little at a time so it will not get lumpy. You reduce the level of your mixer. For this mixture, I'm using 500 grams of butter, 1 kg of icing sugar. So for every time you want to make your butter icing, your butter, if you are using 250, you are using 500 grams of icing sugar. Your icing sugar is always double of your butter. So I'm going to pour it inside gradually till I finish mixing it. My icing sugar, I've finished it, so I'm going to add flavor into it. Add a little more. Okay. So you can choose to color it any color you wish to color your cake. It might be blue, it might be pink, any color. For this one, I'm going to be using pink color. So please add in our color. So this color it's varies differently. You have wilting, we have acabado, we have different mix. It depends on what you want to use. So you can see our color is coming out. This is rose pink. So just mix it gradually. Till we achieve, mix everything. So here's our cake. Our cake is out. I want to decorate the cake now. First thing first, you get a turntable. When you want to decorate, you have to get a turntable for easier handling of the cake. And this is my cake board. So I will put a little bit of butter icing on the cake board so as to stick the cake to the board so that it won't fall off when you are carrying it to wherever you are going to. Just a little. So I'll place the cake on the board center. Place the other one on top of it. Please let me remove it. So before you place the other one on top of it, you put a little bit of butter icing on it. So place the other one on it upside down. So in a situation whereby your cake is not the same as in size, maybe because due to the pan you use to bake it, so you just get a knife and cut out the edges so that you will use it to make it the same size. Let's give me the napkin. So after doing that, we are going to crumb coat. First thing first, before you start decorating your cake, you have to crumb coat first. If you don't crumb coat, that's crumbs. Crumb coat. If you don't crumb coat, your design, the crumbs will get into your design and it won't make the cake come out nice. So just put a little butter icing on it and use it to crumb coat it. So you go like that way, front and back. As you are turning the turntable, that's why you need to get a turntable. It's the turntable that is going to be doing the work. You are not shifting the cake, you are shifting the turntable. So that's that. For the side too, you crumb coat. You see? It's falling off because the cake is very soft and fluffy. You go that way, just a little, for you to pack all the crumbs together. So we are still crumb coating. Just take a lot of patience. I'm checking the sides that don't have anything yet to add butter to it. just keep turning your turntable that way. Butter icing can be a little bit messy because of all the crumbs and the goat. If it was fondant, it won't be this messy, but butter icing can be very messy. So you have to have your napkin, your tissue, everything handy so as to be cleaning your surface as you are working. So now I'm going to design the cake proper. I have to clean this away. So when you want to decorate a cake, you start with the top. You put enough amount of icing on the top of the cake, enough that will cover the top of the cake. Don't mind how much you put, it will go around. So we'll go like this, back and forth to cover the top. Just keep spreading it like that till it covers the entire top of the cake. That's why you have to put enough. If you don't put enough, it won't go around and you start having gallops in the middle. You hold your palette knife that way and that's how you go about it. So I'm trying to smoothen it out. So I'm going to cover the side now. Take it a little at a time. Just put, regardless, just go like that. Okay, we're doing the side. Don't worry, we are still going to smoothen that out. That way. We're almost done. So we'll check the sides that is not properly covered. We'll add more to it. Okay, this is called chocolate drip. I put it in a piping bag to drip around the cake. All those dripping we see. Just do it gently, little at a time. So you just keep turning your turntable. Depends on how much you want your drip to be. If you want it thick like this, you can just be doing it little, but if you just don't want it to be much like this, you just sprinkle it around it and you are good to go. So that's it. So I'm going to pipe it. I'm going to do a design on the cake now. I have my piping bag, and this is called a nozzle. This is 1M. So when you get to the market, there are different types. It depends on the one you want to use it for. Maybe you want to do shell piping, or you want to pipe flour, or there are different types of piping technique. But for this one, we are going to be doing rosette. So when you want to pipe, you always hold your piping bag like this, 360. Then you check around the cake. If you see anywhere that there are rough edges, that's where you use for the back of your cake, so as not to show it to the public. But for this one, try to test it. Okay, I'm going to pipe rosette. Aisha, can you hold this? Drop that one. Just hold. You hold your piping back like this, and you turn it that way. Turn it. Just make sure that as you are pressing your piping bag, it's the same amount of consistency that is coming out of your bag. If not, some will be too thick and some will be too big and some will be too small. We are going to do this all around the cake. And you make sure you have enough icing sugar in your piping bag so it will go round. You don't have to be filling it every time. Put as much as you can handle on it. Yes. So I'm going to refill this. You can see that our icing sugar is finished. But if you know how to manage your icing sugar, you won't finish using it for this design. But if you want it to come out nice and you should not have any crumbs, I'm just going to do a little bit more. Yeah. So you can design it with whatever you want to design it with. Maybe you want to put sprinkles or chocolate or anything on top. For this one, I'll be using chocolates. Just use it to design the top. Let me open it. So you can use, it depends on how much your client is paying you for this type of design. So you can use as much as different types of chocolates you want, as much as you want on the cake. If your client is a sweet tooth. If you have cherries, you can use cherries too. Have the sweet like this. So I'm going to write on it now. So there is a piping nozzle for writing, but because this one is, the mouth is already thin, so I'm going to use this piping bag to write. Because of space, I'm managing my space. That's it. So just leave it to cool down and pack it for your customer and you are good to go. To roll out the donut so that we'll be able to fry it. So you cut it into two equal halves. Just cut it out equally. By trying to make it round, put it on your tray. Pick another one. Do it the same way. Try and make it round. You put it on the tray. You do that for everything. This thing is still going to rise a little bit before we fry it. So that's why it's this small, but it's still going to rise. Okay, as you can see, the dough has risen from what it was before after rolling it into balls. So we are going to fry it now. Put it one at a time. Your oil should not be too hot, so gradually it will come up. So we'll leave it to fry. So we'll leave it to fry for some minutes till it's golden brown. Golden brown now. I'm going to take it out of the hot oil. Your oil must not be too hot, if not it's going to be too brown and it might not get done inside. So see, it's different sizes because we didn't measure it, so you have to make sure that it's the same size throughout.